guys, welcome back to another video. It has been over 2 years, I think, since I've made a video, and I may be a bit rusty. So I wanted to check in and make a video because I get questions periodically from people asking if I'll ever come back to ASMR ever again, and the answer is always yes to that. No matter what happens in my life, I'm sure I'll always come back and make more videos. Sometimes, due to life circumstances, I just need some time in between when that happens, so, and in this case, I needed 2 years. And so, thanks for your patience, but I want to share some updates about what's happened the past couple of years. So I literally made a list. I sat down and I wanted to just record this video because, I know people are curious and they really just want more videos to help them fall asleep and stuff, which is completely understandable, and I'm happy to be able to do when I can. So a lot has happened in the past couple of years, as I'm sure many of you can imagine. Things have been difficult throughout the pandemic, but there's even been some updates from prior to that. So when we last left this YouTube channel, I was just moving out of the place where I lived with my brother, my soon-to-be sister-in-law, and my cousin. And I moved back to live with my mom for a while to help her out with her health, because she was having some pretty significant health issues, but she's doing well now. And so I did that, and also just to help me save money. And that was definitely helpful. And then I was living there for a few months before Jesse and I got engaged, so that was another milestone that happened. That was really incredible. And when we were up in Grand Manan, Canada, a couple years ago, that's where we got engaged, and so that was really special, and we were obviously really thrilled about that. And then we really enjoyed that summer of 2019, which was amazing. But then in the fall of 2019, in September, I got this tweak in my neck one day when I was just putting up my hair one morning. And ever since, I've had this ongoing chronic neck pain, which eventually evolved into just all these little issues with my shoulders and my neck. And as you guys already know, who followed my channel for the past several years, I was already dealing with low back pain, and that being chronic, and that in the past has also stopped me from making videos. But luckily nowadays, my chronic low back pain is pretty well managed with exercise and strength training and movement. But yeah, the ongoing neck and shoulder stuff has been ongoing since then and through 2020, unfortunately. And that's been one of the reasons why it's been so incredibly difficult, somehow even harder than when my low back hurt, to create new content, because just sitting at the computer again, somehow it's when it's your neck, it's even worse than when it's your low back. Both of them aren't great, obviously, but yeah, that was really challenging, and so that's been continuing throughout 2020. It was really intense during the height of the pandemic, which was very difficult, but thank God, just luckily, through a lot of perseverance and patience with myself and a lot of self-compassion, and prioritizing my health, I've been able to really reduce my symptoms, and I'm really optimistic now for some serious healing. So I'll talk more about that and how things went with healing later on in the video. So like I mentioned, when the pandemic began, we were in the midst of, planning our wedding, and we were really excited about that, for it to happen in the fall of 2020. But we had to postpone it, and we had to move the date, basically. We did end up having a very small elopement, actually. So we are married, and we did elope. We just did it with my immediate family present. It was an extremely small affair, and in a way it was very special because it was taking place at such a crazy time, but also it was a very difficult decision because we wanted, obviously, to celebrate with our loved ones, but at the same time we didn't want to put our wedding on hold because of this pandemic and because of our living situations and things like that. And so for a variety of reasons, we did have that earlier wedding, and that was in April of 2020. And yeah, we did already get married. We are planning on having a family ceremony and party and stuff in October of 2021. So hopefully in the fall coming up this year, but things are a little bit up in the air still, so we'll just see how that goes. I have to say, if for anyone who might be in those shoes of planning a wedding, I highly encourage you to just really take a hard look in the mirror. And I don't know, for me, we really asked ourselves, like, do we really need to move ahead with all of these, like, outdated conventions and wedding conventions? And we ended up really stripping down our elopement. Like, I literally made our own wedding cake myself. It was really good, I have to say. Maybe someday I'll make a video about the recipe. And so that was amazing, but like, we pretty much did everything ourselves, except for like some of the catering, but again, it was like literally just my immediate family. But yeah, it was a really small thing, and in many ways very, very difficult, but also extremely special. And I am actually really happy about the way it turned out, because by getting married earlier, we were able to cut out all the back and forth worries about traveling to one another's houses during the pandemic. That was very, very stressful for us before we actually got married, and so being able to finally live together and share that space for us was a huge help and a huge just a really important thing for us to do during this pandemic, when things have been incredibly difficult, and we've been able to really take care of one another and ourselves and rely on each other for support. And that has been really incredible. I'm extremely, extremely thankful for that, and for the way that things worked out. So Jesse moved in, and right after we got married, and then a little while later, as a detour to this marriage conversation, I guess, I started a podcast with my co-host and podcasting partner. Her name is Natalie Dode, and she is the person behind Fertility Awareness Project. So we started a podcast together, and the podcast is called Body Literacy Babes. Softly Speaking and Whispering. You can definitely check out that podcast. Or, of course, if you are anyone looking to learn more about the details and intricacies of fertility awareness and how that relates to sex and hormonal health and just all of these different areas, you can definitely go and try that podcast and just learn more about that. It's a really fascinating area, I think, and we really have a lot of fun with that podcast. And we were able to start it because, in a way, we had the time during that first spring of 2020 during the pandemic, and we just wanted to create this project together. So I hope that you'll go listen if you have any interest in that or in fertility awareness. And for those of you who don't know, I guess, I am a certified fertility awareness educator, and I am always taking on new clients. And so if you're someone who has been exploring that area of things lately and you'd like to learn more, then, I invite you to reach out and work with me. You can learn more by going to my Instagram at Famtastic Fertility, and that's Famtastic with an M as in Mary, like fertility awareness method, Famtastic Fertility. So, my link in bio there, on my page will have more information for you. But I digress. So after we started the podcast, that summer, chronic pain-wise with my neck was extremely hard for me, and I was in a really, really dark place mentally. But thankfully, I was able to obtain my medical cannabis card for my state. And I have to tell you that medical cannabis, I am thankful for it every day. I think it's been an incredible help and support for my health. And I would encourage anyone out there who might be dealing with any type of chronic pain condition, if you live in a state with access to medical or recreational cannabis, I highly, highly recommend considering it as a pain management tool, because it's been incredibly helpful for me in my experience to relax and release tension in my muscles. It also really has helped me with sleeping at night when I was dealing with chronic pain worse. And it was one of the only things to finally reduce my stress about sleep, and really reduce my pain and allow me to fall asleep. As someone who's been dealing with chronic pain since I was 16, it's been one of my literal goals in life to not do any injections or surgeries or take opioids, because those things can be a really slippery slope, especially in terms of opioids and with surgeries. You just never know with surgeries. Sometimes they can actually make issues worse with chronic pain. So I really have stayed true to those things, and I found that cannabis has been an incredible help for me, aside from other over-the-counter pain medications, which simply don't have the same impact on my pain, period. They just don't. And so this has been an incredible aid for me. And again, I really encourage anyone who's even vaguely considering it or maybe on the fence about it to please listen to your gut and explore this. If anyone would like, please leave a comment below. I'd be happy to kind of create a little video about my experience with obtaining my card, my medical card, and excuse me, just trying to help anyone who might be curious about that. So please do let me know in shortly after I got my medical card, Jesse and I moved out of my mom's house, and we moved into our own house that we're renting. So we aren't homeowners. It's not that big of a milestone, but we are living in our own place now, and that also has been incredible for lots of reasons. Again, to just be able to be with each other and have the support of each other throughout this year, but also Jesse had been working from home during this time, so that was great to be able to spend more time with him at home during this year. But it also has just greatly reduced my stress to be in a living space with someone else who's so supportive and understanding. And this has been a huge help for my chronic pain. So, in addition to that, I do have some really, and this is probably the saddest part of this video, but I also want to remain, in a way, still happy about things. But I have to report to you guys, unfortunately, over the summertime, Bosco's health was deteriorating, and he was having seizures due to being hypoglycemic. And we discovered that he had a tumor on his pancreas, which was affecting his ability to produce proper insulin levels, which then would lead to low blood sugar and seizures. And so we were not able to move ahead with like a surgery, but we did have him on medication, and he was able to enjoy several more months of his summer. And then we moved here, and he was able to enjoy a few months into the fall, but he was really struggling in November, and unfortunately on Thanksgiving of 2020, we did have to take him to the vet and say goodbye to him, unfortunately, which was incredibly difficult. And I really feel, honestly, like I've grieved to the same degree as if I had lost a human loved one, because Bosco really meant a lot to both Jesse and I, and he was an incredibly special dog to me and to us. And it's been really hard to not be with him anymore after him being in my life for 5 years. For anyone who may not know, Bosco was my dog, and he was a rescue. I had adopted him as an adult, and so he was already between like 5 and 7 years old when I first got him. And so he did have a pretty, long life overall. But yeah, it was just very difficult, but we love him so much, and we always look fondly on all these pictures and videos of him that we still have, obviously, and we really miss him every day. I can definitely offer something that helped me and us in kind of my grieving process, honestly, was getting a cuddle clone of Bosco. So there's a company called Cuddle Clones, and they basically make like stuffed animal replicas of pets. And so we sent in all these pictures of Bosco and all these descriptions, and they made for us and sent back to us like a miniature version basically of Bosco. And it still is a pretty like big stuffed animal, but it's miniature compared to him, obviously. But they did a really great job of nailing his colors and how he looks. And in the few months after his death, every time I look at it, it makes me me feel happy as opposed to thinking about him during his last days or looking back at photos of him from his last days and becoming really sad. The Cuddle Clone honestly has helped me to grieve that loss. So I do recommend it for anyone who may be going through the loss of a pet. For me, it was incredibly helpful, and I never could have anticipated how much that would mean to me. But it really did help me, and it helped to kind of get through that depression that was really intense after he had passed away. So, surprisingly, I just really appreciate that, and I recommend it. So, since that has happened, it's just been us and Osage. And Osage, he's been doing really well. And it's just been really great for Jesse to kind of be able to live with Osage and get to know him better. Osage is incredibly lively. He loves to play every day. He's been adjusting to living in this new house and exploring. And there's this neighborhood cat, a black cat named Little One, who comes around like every day to say hi to Osage, and I'm honestly not certain whether like Osage is in love with her or if he's like offended by her. I'm not entirely sure, but he always tries to look out the window at her, and it's really cute either way. And he doesn't seem like actually stressed. He seems very like enthusiastic about seeing her, which is kind of funny. So I wanted to touch back upon the chronic pain thing and what's been helping me with that, and kind of a bit about the journey that I went through with that over the past over a year. And again, if you guys want, I can make a whole other separate video kind of detailing this process, but to put it more in a more short and sweet sense, so this video doesn't get too long. Like I said, the initial neck tweak happened in fall of 2019, and for the subsequent few months, it really wasn't like that bad and that bothersome. It would kind of come and go. But eventually, as the pandemic really heated up, of course, my stress increased, and that made the pain worse. I began to go to physical therapy in the springtime of 2020, and I had to stop because then they closed down due to the pandemic. And so I didn't go to physical therapy at all for several months, and the pain was really crippling and debilitating, and very difficult to manage in conjunction with my work. But I have, and I did. And then I was going to physical therapy and receiving traction for my neck and doing exercises. We've also done acupuncture or dry needling on my neck, which has really helped to provide relief for up to about a week at a time. But the things for me that I think have really made the biggest difference after months of daily management, I think, are some old and beloved simple tools like heat from a heating pad. I have this one from Amazon which covers your neck, shoulders, and low back. It's like a cape, and it's amazing. I use it almost every day and every night when I go to sleep. And it also has a sleep timer, so it'll go off after 2 hours. And it doesn't get as hot to the point of like burning me, so highly recommend that. Also, rock tape has been incredible. There's information about rock tape online, and they also have a YouTube channel to learn how to use it properly. I really, really love rock tape. But also, ongoing physical therapy and dry needling has been great. For me, probably the biggest thing that's made the difference has been going to a doctor of osteopathic medicine. They practice something called osteopathic manipulation therapy. I think it's called OMT. for my neck and my shoulders. Every time I've gone, I think I've gone like 2 or 3, yeah, I've gone 3 times so far, each time about a month apart. And each time I've gone, I've experienced a milestone leap forward in my healing progress. So please, if you're experiencing any type of chronic pain or condition, that's associated with pain, please consider working with a DO or a doctor of osteopathic medicine. They are trained in OMT and they may be able to really, really help you. There's a great video by a doctor named Dr. Mike here on YouTube where he explains how being a DO is different from being a MD or a medical doctor. And it's a great succinct video which shows OMT. OMT, in my experience, is very relaxing and gentle. Although on a video it may look kind of extreme and like they're doing a lot of manipulations. Honestly, I feel like it's very relaxing and gentle, and I almost fall asleep during it. So I really like it. I think there should be ASMR videos about it if there aren't already, because it's a really great experience for me, and the doctor that I work with is incredibly compassionate and understanding. And when I first went to her, I was in tears explaining the past year of my life and the difficulty, the deep, immense difficulty that it's brought to me. I can't even explain, but it had me in a really dark place, and I was in tears. And I'm telling you, over the course of several months, going to her about once a month in combination with physical therapy, and also I've been working with a personal trainer who also works at my physical therapy place. And so that combination to kind of work me up to increasing my strength slowly but surely over time has helped me immensely. Other things include going to therapy. I'm doing online therapy to help me to process some past trauma, and that's been incredibly helpful for releasing emotions and processing things more deeply in a healthier way. There's 3 other things I highly recommend for anyone experiencing chronic pain. I need you to check out the Curable Health app. They're on Instagram at Curable Health, and their app is just called Curable. It explores and teaches you about the current science and research into the neuroscience of pain and the latest research and science in this field. What you've been told about pain your entire life is not accurate. There's so much now that we know about it. That's been an improvement from the past 10 years. And what I've learned in the Curable app has blown my mind. It's completely changed how I look at pain. I used to think pain was something that was just completely beyond my control and something that I was completely helpless to. And believe me, I have lived like that for years. And I'm telling you, with this education and these exercises that the app guides you to do, it changes your outlook into understanding that pain is a reaction to different stressors in our lives. It's the body's way of expressing when we need extra support, basically. And for some people, it manifests as low back pain, and for others, it's shoulder stuff. And obviously, this is like an oversimplification. Obviously, if you've like broken your arm, then yes, your arm will hurt. But the point is, from the app, is that all pain originates in the brain, and all pain is related to brain signals. And when you get into a state of being in chronic pain where the signals are overactive and well trodden, and your nervous system is completely on edge from months of living in a state of trauma from this continuous pain. You learn that, well, the brain is actually plastic, and we're actually able to change our neural pathways over time through certain specific strategies. And I have been able to do this over the past several months. I've experienced a great relief and reduction in my chronic pain, and I'm really optimistic that between therapy and the Curable app and the Curable podcast and their Instagram, and also the work of Nicole Sachs, LCSW. She has a YouTube channel where she talks about her journal speak strategy and technique for healing. I highly recommend that you check out, I believe it's called Healing Yourself, parts 1 through 4 on her YouTube channel. Please check it out if you're in chronic pain. I promise it will be helpful. And then finally, last but not least, Meditations by John Kabat-Zinn. There's one on YouTube. It's about 45 minutes long. I'm totally blanking on the name right now. I will try to look it up as I am talking. But it's basically a body scan and mindfulness meditation where he walks you through feeling into different parts of the body. And so I'll try to look it up right here. It's on my very own meditation playlist in my YouTube account. So the video is called John, Jon, Kabat, Kabat, Zinn, Z or Z-I-N-N, and then Body Scan Meditation, Guided Meditation by the People in Pain Network. It's a 45-minute meditation. I do that daily sometime, whether I'm waking up, going to sleep, or if it's midday. I try to get in that meditation every single day. And between all these tools, this is not an easy process, recovering from chronic pain, okay? It takes time. It takes an incredible level of self-compassion and patience. I feel like I have been clawing and scraping my way through 2020 because of chronic pain, you guys. And these tools have really helped me to recover. So please explore them if that's you. Now, I want to kind of wrap up this video with a few takeaways. Again, please, if you have any requests for videos, leave them in the comments below, or if you'd like me to expand upon anything I've mentioned further in this video, I'd be happy to make more videos covering each topic. Please just let me know. So, a couple of other takeaways from the pandemic that I've learned is the importance of prioritizing my sleep. My sleep has really been impacted by chronic pain. It's difficult for me to lay on my side because of my neck, but I have completely changed my sleep routine, and actually I am sleeping pretty well, considering everything. And so I'm happy to make a video about my sleep routine. A couple of pro tips is that I do wear sleep socks to bed. I do like feeling like I'm weighted down in bed, like a weighted blanket. To me, that's a very comforting feeling. I also have started to use a night guard this year for my teeth. And that's been a whole other thing, but that's been helpful for reducing stress and grinding and clenching at night. I've also gotten into mouth taping. You can learn more about that on Instagram. Visit the profile. It's at Ask the Dentist. He has all types of information about mouth breathing and why you should do mouth taping overnight. sleep. I've just, in the past year, again, with all this chronic pain and all of these big life events like moving and losing Bosco and things like that, I think for me, this has all just highlighted the importance of living cyclically, living with my cycle, whether that is the cycle that I chart, as part of my life and my work, but also just my body's natural cycles of like the ebb and flow of pain and listening to my body. There's nothing like a pandemic to really just force you to slow down in life, and there's nothing like chronic pain to, again, also force you to slow down in life and to really listen to your body. And so although I wouldn't say that I'm thankful for my chronic pain, because it's been extremely difficult to live with, but I do feel like I have learned a lot about my body and a lot about the importance of slowing down in life and being thankful for these simple, everyday pleasures and privileges that we're able to live with in today's world. So those were some things that have just been kind of going on in my life for the past year. It's been a very difficult, very rocky road, let alone all the stuff that's been happening on like a social justice scale and political scale. It's been quite the experience. So to wrap things up, I hope that people are doing well. I hope that if you're struggling right now, this video can maybe be a tiny reprieve for you. I hope that if you're experiencing any type of chronic pain or condition, that you experience relief and peace as soon as possible. But also, on your body's natural healing schedule that, might take its time, and that's okay too. But I just hope that some of the tips in this video can be helpful for people. And if anyone has any questions or video requests, please leave them in the comments below. Alright everyone, I hope you have a great day or night whenever you get to listen to this, and I will see